Okay. Hello. I'm gonna be already from the jump. I'm very scared. The fact that I just opened the game and it says 18 plus. I'm like, wait a second. Can I play this on YouTube? Can I play this on YouTube? Well, I mean, I have like, it's gonna. Is my mic peaking? I have like I have like two viewers. I think I'll be okay. Um if anything questionable happens, I we're gonna I have a mushroom sticker. I have a mushroom sticker and that will save me if anything questionable happens. Easy peasy. Oh, I forgot to tag Nagi. Wait, I'm gonna tag Nagi so she can hear. Because I know Nagi is literally the reason I'm playing this game. Nagi! Yeah, I want to try streaming. Well, I want to stream on YouTube because I want to do more things with my channel. I know there's like nothing organized, but I feel like if I just like force myself to stream on here more, I will. And eventually I'll have stuff put together. Eventually I'll have things that are put together. So for now I'm just gonna stream random stuff on here and then see what happens. But it's time. Okay. I'm not gonna start the game yet. I'm gonna wait and see if Nagi comes in. But for now. What? Oh, there's a What? Why is everyone? Why are all the characters so? Okay, okay. I didn't think it was like that kind of game. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think it was that kind of game. I thought it was just like maybe kind of dark. Yeah, the 18 plus rating shouldn't be that explicit. It's just trippy. Okay, good. Man, already I'm really excited to play this. Everything about it looks very beautiful. I know, off from the jump, it seems like I only like this game because there's hot guys with masks, but I promise, I thought the story was very interesting too. I thought the story looked really interesting. And the concept is cool, and the aesthetics and everything about it's really cool. I have to turn down the volume a little bit. Oh my god, it's very loud in my ear. It's very loud in my ears. I feel like I should also turn down I'm gonna turn down the game volume a little bit too on stream because I don't want it to drown out my voice. I don't want it to be too loud. Let me know if you can actually like hear the game audio and if it's actually coming in. It looks like it is, but I just have to hope. Yeah. Music's a little bit loud. Okay, yeah, I turned it down. I turned the music down a little. I realized I didn't. Wow! Okay, I guess we're gonna stick with it. I forgot I formatted this as if it were. And I formatted this as I'm a little stupid. I didn't take into account that the formatting might change if I change it to like full screen or windowed mode. Let's fix that just a little bit. Oh, I... Bigger. I pop the Nagi! Okay, I'm trying to fix my my overlay thing. I'm trying to fix my overlay thing. I made it a little too... Okay, okay, that's there. Okay. Please. I don't want to stretch it. Can I crop it a little bit? Is it possible? Or I could just like change this thing and make it. I could just change. I think that's what we're doing. Okay, Nagi, welcome. It's time. I went through the character. There's a whole little like intro animation, and are you started going kind of crazy? Are you started going kind of crazy? By the way, let me know if the music volume's okay now. I turned it down a bunch, but I'm not exactly an expert. I say I'm not an expert when I've been streaming for like 2 years, but I didn't check beforehand to check. I didn't like bother to check the music levels beforehand, so I'm just pure guessing on whether or not this music is like okay and good. The music level is like okay and good. I don't like it. I wish I could crop this a little. I feel like there's a way to crop this. Can I? Oh, that's. I don't. Crop pad. Okay, 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 okay. Okay, okay. Oh. I think I could raise it a little more. Okay, okay. Wait a second. I'm figuring out how to crop this. Wait, did I do it? Did I actually figure out how to do something? Oh my god. I did it. I cropped it. Let's go. We're gonna say that's good enough. And I'm gonna raise the music volume a little bit. Okay. Okay. We're also going to do this so that chat box is not open from the actual chat box. But I don't want to compress it much. We're gonna call that one a good enough. We're gonna call that one a good enough. Pro streamer, I'm editing my overlay as we speak. I'm a professional. My overlays are perfect. I've never made a mistake. And we're gonna say that we're gonna call this one good enough. I learned how to crop my screen. I learned how to crop the display thing. And I changed the size of my chat box. We're gonna say that's a W. And I think it's time to actually start playing the game. Like I said, if the volume gets kind of crazy, let me know. I forgot. Should I? What? Okay. Should I voice act this? I'm not really a voice actor, but I will try. What's your safe word? Oh, okay. I didn't know this is that kind of game. I didn't know it was that kind of game. Just gonna rely off the fact that I have exactly 3 viewers, and hopefully YouTube doesn't see this. Yeah, hopefully YouTube doesn't see this. Okay. I don't know. I like pumpkins. I don't want pumpkin to be my safe word. I like pumpkins. Okay. What? I'm gonna I was just drinking a Yakult, so it's still sitting on my desk, so we're gonna say my safe word is Yakult. In the top right corner. Okay. Yakult. X key will also take you directly to the safe word menu during gameplay. Leaving the safe word menu will take you. Oh, okay, okay. I just wanted to know what this is. Welcome. Oh. Okay, well now I know what it is, so we're just gonna. Why? Why are you already calling me a furry? I haven't even started the game yet. What does Yakult have anything to do with being a furry? I just like. I just like Yakult. But that's pretty cool. I like that they have kind of like a light pause button. It's a pause button, but I like when I don't just have to be launched back to the menu or something. That's pretty cool. Okay, well, I guess if anything happens, I'm just gonna say Yakult. Okay, no one goes into the mountain without reason. Purpose of business? Buying. No one takes the past into. How are you going to pay? Some funds. Some work. Good luck with that. I realize I'm not differentiating voice again. Not okay, I'm trying my best. I'm not a voice actor, but I will try. Everyone knows what it means if you go. No one says anything about it. Give me your bags. The guard looks through my things with perfect efficiency. Bored, they start asking me questions. What are you going to be called down there? Vesper? Vesper, like my Hollow Stars Oshi, nor Vesper. Actually, wait, I might get shot for saying that. Because he's graduated. I love Vesper. I don't want to. I kind of like the name. Well, I love Vesper, my Hollow Stars Oshi, but also that's not my name. I'll do what my usual default name is, which is Salem. Good choice. Have a mask, Miss Salem? No one would sell me one. Not a problem. Here. You're buying, we're selling. The gate guard waves to the masks hanging around the entrance, perhaps once worn by other visitors. Masks are an old custom, plausible deniability. We're all faceless strangers under the mountain. Pick your poison. Ooh, the charcoal-colored one with worn lace and gold trim. Cream-colored one with flowery details painted across the left side. Burgundy-colored one with swirling embossed patterns. All of them sound very pretty. I like the flowery one. We're gonna go with the flowery one. I take a mask off the wall and fit it to my face. It weighs on my head, but my mind feels lighter. I see my reflection in them. People under the mountain have a beautiful taste. Ooh, that's I like that I can. It's me! I hand the gate guard the money out. Welcome to the marketplace. They step aside, allowing me passage into the tunnel on the side of the mountain. I begin my descent. At first I have to wonder if I've been tricked in some way. Passage grows narrow, the stale, and the path uneven. I'm walking by the last feeble threads of light that reach to the steep. Then I see something. What? You know what? We'll save. That was a misclick, but we'll save. But then I see something. A shimmering pale blue glow from around the corner. I fight through the narrowing walls until I'm able to turn the corner. The passage suddenly widens, and it opens. I step from the passage into a cavern, so massive I can hardly see the end of it. The marketplace. There are several masked people who are seated or leaning against the walls around this little entryway, and now they're approaching me. Welcome, newcomer. A fresh face. Someone new could use a guide, couldn't they? Hucksters, or perhaps petty thieves looking for an easy mark. My valuables are kept under my heavy robe, safe from pickpockets. conceal myself, and march forward, past the strangers. There's no logic to this place. A fishmonger selling dried and salted fish sits next to a bookseller, with stacks of forbidden tomes. A fungusman and birdkeeper are bickering. If they weren't obvious scams, I would have taken one of the offers for a guide and saved myself some time. At first, I glance at each stall. Out here nearest the entry tunnel, all of the stalls are selling simple amenities or cheap thrills. The sort of thing a departing traveler might want to have when they ascend. Not what I'm looking for. It's not here. Well, I suppose it wouldn't be. Asking one of the sellers, I get directions. The rough walls of this cavern, shifting and trembling in unsteady candle and glowworm light, slowly turn smooth where natural walls turn to hand-carved. The ramshackle stalls turn to ramshackle buildings to painted and varnished walls. The quality of goods on sale is improving as well. The cheap basics are behind me, ahead of the rare, the luxurious, and the illicit. The real reason anyone comes here. Seeing the sign for an apothecary, an easily recognizable serpent coiling around a staff, I slip inside. Welcome. The shopkeeper is masked, of course, but that is not what grabs my attention. The din of hundreds of voices selling and buying and negotiating in the echoing caves is muffled, but not by much. That is because while the apothecary has 4 walls, there is no roof over the store. Newcomer, huh? What? You must be a fresh arrival. And why would you say that? You're staring where the ceiling should be. Ah! I suppose in a city with no sun or rain, roofs are unnecessary. Only thing a roof keeps out in the marketplace is thieves. Common weather pattern here? Far too common. I make an effort to examine the apothecary's mask. It's plainer than even mine. Perhaps he is frugal, or perhaps he is poor by the standards of the marketplace. Well, you weren't driven here by the weather. What do you need? I'm looking for a lunar ichor. I resist the urge to explain my circumstances to the shopkeeper. No matter how meaningless or petty they seem, my secrets are one of the few resources I have in these depths. You have an expensive tastes, or terrible luck. What I don't have is lunar ichor. Is that something you can remedy, apothecary? No. If money is a concern, I can make arrangements. It's not the money. I could never afford to stock that damnable ichor. If I could, I doubt I'd be able to stomach it. Rumors were true then. That is unfortunate. Where does one go to find that damnable ichor? Smuggler dens, the vaults of the lords of the market, or perhaps you could take a knife to the lunar god. Failing that, the auction house may provide. It's the largest house this side of the ruby walls. It even has a roof. The apothecary cannot see my smile, but I hope he can hear it. Thank you for your timely advice, sir. Save your thanks for the lunar god. It'll be a miracle if you get that ichor. I take my leave of the shop. The noise rises again from loud to deafening. There are tunnels and additional caverns in all directions, but I continue the way I was going. If the walls are getting smoother and the buildings more beautiful, then I am approaching the richest part of the market. It stands to reason that this is where the auction house will be. Keeping my eyes up, it takes no time to find the auction house. It is as the apothecary said, the largest house this side of the ruby walls. There are long chains of glowworms draped over the promised ridged roof that dangle and sway as the air shifts in the cavern. The building itself is deep, garnet red with gilded trim. Message received. You're very wealthy, whoever built this. The doors, covered in tiny engravings impossible to interpret in the dim lights, are wide open. Bright golden lamplight pours into the street. People are freely milling in and out, so I slip inside. I'm underdressed for the occasion, but neither of the guards standing at the door moved to stop me. The sound of the outside suddenly dims, and I have to blink against a sudden brightness. I can hear my own muffled footsteps as I cross plush carpet deeper into the auction house. The whispered conversations through masks make a thin fog of sound compared to the din outside. Signs are in a language I do not recognize, but I can make some educated guesses. The ornate double door standing locked and guarded must lead to the actual auction hall. There is a short, uncarpeted hall with gleaming polished floors lined with several doors. After a second, I see a giggling pair exit one of the rooms and straighten their clothes. Spicy! Is this why it's 18 plus? That explains that then. There's one door that is little more than a window on hinges left open. I peer inside for a second only to see an ordinary office. Come in. The stranger sitting behind the desk waves to me, so I step inside. Pardon me, I didn't mean to intrude. You can't intrude on the bookkeeper. I must always be available. You must be? How else could anyone check to ensure I'm not meddling in the books? Does it really come to that? Well, I have no such concerns. A buyer, are you? Couldn't I simply be a browser? You really believe someone would come to the marketplace, to the auction house, just looking to see what they find? This is just the beginning! Nagi! You're scaring me! I suppose someone must have an all of history. Well, if that's the scale you're measuring by. You, however, are not here to browse. No, I'm not. You're right. I'm here to buy. Shall I show you to the catalog for the next auction? I would appreciate it. The bookkeeper stands and hands me a sizable booklet. Do not damage it. Do not leave here with it. They open a drawer to their desk and hold up a knife. It's a little thing, but I have no doubt they could kill me with it. Then they sit again and resume their work. I flip through the book. There are objects of unimaginable value, works of art by artists even I know by name, an exquisite jeweled tiara fit for any princess, the deed to a country manor on the surface. Then there are wonders I could have never dreamt of, a bird wreathed in flames that never burn, a still beating bloodstone heart over some rock nymph, a potion of clear vision. I flip a page and am met with the miserable exposed face of a young adult. Their posture is low and defeated, but they are beautiful. The text informs me that whatever is paid in the auction will be sent to their family within the mountain. Surely not. Ooh, I knew it was only a matter of time till we got here. I flip the page again. There are no other people in this catalog, but one is enough to turn my stomach. Thank you, bookkeeper. Finished already. What I want isn't in there. And what is it that you want? I'll check the history, see when it was last sold. I bite my tongue for a moment. Lunar Ichor. Ichor? I really hope I'm not exposing myself. I don't know how to pronounce this. Like, I've seen it pronounced several different times. Ichor, Ichor. I'm gonna say Ichor for now, because that feels the most correct. An unlucky one, aren't we? I couldn't say. If you would, bookkeeper. They shuffle through a notebook. I try to read the text, but it is nearly impossible to interpret their faint pencil scratchings. More bad luck to heap on your pile, I'm afraid. The last sale was 3 months back. It's unlikely we'll get another sale for months yet, unless someone new comes with a stock. Couldn't be easy, could it? And what was the final price for it? For a lot of 12? The number they tell me is stomach-dropping. I could not gather those funds in a lifetime. Even divided 12 ways, the price for a single vial is well beyond my means. My life savings weigh heavily in the coin purse under my robe. Dead weight, it seems. By your silence, I guess you don't have the money. Thank you for your time. I try to keep my voice neutral. When I leave the auction house, I momentarily lose sight and hearing as I adjust to the dim, echoing cavern. I don't notice the direction my feet are taking me. My hopes for a quick visit to the marketplace have been thoroughly dashed. Now I have to determine what to do. Okay. We're gonna. I'm an obsessive, like, I always need to save in case anything happens. Whenever there's like a choice, I always save. I have 50 million. I'm not dearly. I have 50 million save slots. I use all of them. Okay, I'll think better after some rest. I can't afford to give up. Honestly, I'm desperate. I feels like I'm pretty desperate, brother. We're gonna keep going. I cannot allow myself to give in to difficult circumstances. If I give up on getting the lunar acre, I might as well throw myself off the mountain. For now, I need a place to stay. My feet ache from the climb up the mountain. My spirit is draining away in these cramped, noisy conditions. Listen, when Dearly said that they didn't even know you could save the game, I was like, hello? You mean you haven't been saving this whole time? If you like run out of HP in a trial, you just get Thanos back to the beginning of the entire case. It's just over. I could not live like that. I'm so paranoid. I have to save at like every choice, no matter what. Okay. I stopped by a stall and yeah, it was crazy. I stopped by a stall and asked for directions for a decent inn, rest stop, public house, anything. Following the directions through a short tunnel, I wander through a quieter district of the marketplace. Though quiet is relative. The guest house is a challenge to find, though I hesitate to call the ground down walking paths roads. There are rest houses lining them on either side. The Leaping Bear, the guest house recommended to me, is nothing remarkable. The building has a roof, but the building itself is mostly made out of raw wood. The brass doorknob is smooth under my hand, polished by thousands of guests who come and go. Inside, the atmosphere is boisterous, but on the scale of a handful of people singing a drinking song. The chaos outside is already muffled and distant. Welcome. The woman who approaches has her face fully covered in a bear mask, but her neckline is untied and exposed. Ooh, spicy! I wonder if she's revealing a décolletage. I wonder who she works for. Hello. I was told this is a good establishment to stay the night. You were told right. Except the part about night. Here there's no real difference between day and night. Plenty of folks are up all hours of the day, as you do, just sleeping when they're tired and forgetting the sun ever existed. I see. The bear-masked woman has me sign into a guest book and pay for the night. You have the room for 24 hours. If you're staying longer, I expect you here to pay for more time. If you don't, you might find all your things at a moon shrine. I'll remember. Thank you. And you'll be needing these. She hands me a dull metal medallion on a leather string and a key. Dear Rufus over there. She gestures to a mountain of a man, also in a bear mask, standing by a door. Make sure only guests go to the rooms. That medallion proves you're a guest. Don't lose it. Or else I'll find my things at a moon shrine. Pick things up quickly, you do? Seems like an important skill to have here. Quite right. She gets back to her business, so I approach the mountain of a man guarding the door to the room. Hello, Rufus. I hold up the medallion and wait. I'm not about to rush a man with a bat, especially when his blood-stain isn't. I can see from the outline. That's not just a girl, that's not just a bat. Then he nods, and I'm granted passage. He watches me go to my assigned room. I suppose it's a good measure to prevent theft. But then, so is a blood-stained bat. Yeah, I don't think I would steal much either. If I were seeing that guy. Sleep doesn't come easily at first. How can I risk sleeping in the marketplace? But it does come for me. I like that there's a window. There's no sun, but there is a window. The metaphorical cold of night, I see the sense in my choice last night. I cannot leave the marketplace without lunar ichor. Thus staying is my only real choice. I'm able to order something like breakfast from Leaping Bear's kitchen, and then sit deep in thought staring at a bowl of porridge. Eating in this mask is a bit of a bother. Oh, I forgot you have to do everything in a mask. I have to navigate the spoon around the mask. There's clasps, I start at the sudden appearance of the proprietress. What? Feel along the side of the masks. There should be pins or clasps holding the bottom part. I do as she said, and find little clasps holding two parts of my mask together. Well, I feel like a proper fool. It already feels strange having my mouth exposed, like a funny kind of nudity. That's kind of how I felt when I stopped wearing a mask, and I was like, "Ooh, you can't look at that. Newcomers are a bit foolish. That's part of their charm." Thank you, I think. Just keep your wits about you. You'll live. You make it sound so dire. Well, you're here, aren't you? You're not wrong. No one comes here without good reason, I should think. What's yours? A personal matter. Buying or selling. That's all there is down here, after all. Buying. Something I might not be able to afford, it turns out. That wouldn't narrow things down too much for her. Well, it depends on how you try to buy things, doesn't it? Money will get you anywhere if you have enough of it. But there's other roads out of here. Isn't that something you'd know a lot about? Couldn't say. I only know what stories the guests bring in. She says it flippantly enough that there must be a story there, but I resist the urge to dig. Then I suppose my next job is to find what paths I can use. Thank you. Not a problem. The mask troubles everyone at first. You just ask for Bruna if you have any more problems. I'll be happy to help. She sweeps away to handle another matter. I'm left with far more productive thoughts. Money won't get me lunar ichor, but something else might. Influence, friendship, violence, guile. Ooh. My body if it comes down to it. Anything, ooh. There's a lot to think about. Am I going to stay in a guest house for weeks or months? What possible ways are there to get lunar ichor? Let's start with one foot in front of the other. Over the next several days, I get to learn the layout of the marketplace. It's an ever-shifting rat's nest of stalls, passages, and unmarked pathways. There are some fixed landmarks. I can navigate somewhat. What's guile? So guile is like charm, like beguiling. You're very charming. Guile is like charm. Bewitching, beguiling, charming. They all are similar. I can navigate somewhat comfortably by those landmarks when they are visible. One evening, based on my own internal clock, the proprietress of the Leaping Bear hints over a meal that as long as I'm well behaved, she'd be willing to extend more generous long-term rates to me. I wasn't planning to misbehave, even less so with Rufus keeping an eye on me, so that settles the matter of lodging for the moment. As for the lunar ichor, I'm at a loss. It is rare, absurdly rare. Based on the reactions of those I speak to about it, some aspect of it is very taboo. Likely the condition it treats. I'm wandering one of the quieter passages, clearly natural by how uneven the ground is. It's mostly homes built on whatever smooth patch of stone the builder could find. But there is one that towers over the rest, a tall church with heavy oaken doors. But normally I would expect to see a golden 10-point solar sigil. Instead, there is a more simplistic crescent-shaped one. The lunar sigil. Ah, I suppose the solar god isn't much help down here. I have seen the eerie blue-green light of glowworms and smoky gold of lanterns, but I've not seen the sun since I started my descent. Churches dedicated to the lunar god exist outside the mountain, but not in any significant numbers. The lunar god, Lunar Ichor. It can't hurt to ask, could it? I'm not sure I believe the lunar god must bleed for there to be Lunar Ichor, but there's no harm in checking. Hey, stop! I halted my path instinctively, although for a moment I can see that no one was speaking to me. Instead, there's a raucous crowd gathering just down the tunnel, shouting and tussling. A few people in utilitarian masks and what look like uniforms are trying to push their way through. Looks like trouble. As always, I have to make sure. What if? Run to safety in the church, stay and see what happens, leave. You know, I'm a big believer of minding my goddamn business. I'm a big believer of minding my goddamn business. So, I'm just gonna go towards the church. I'm on my way to where I'm going. Whatever else is happening, none of my business. Then, once I ascertain that they aren't locked, I slip through the imposing, massive oak doors. The carvings in the wood press into my palm, surprisingly comforting, grounding sensation. Then, as the doors close, the change in the atmosphere hits me. Ooh! First thing is the smell. Candle smoke, heavy incense, and cold, crumbling stone. Then comes a solemn silence, the kind that reminds you of your place within these holy walls and oppressively tall ceiling. I'm finally alone. Even for just a little while. I know from experience that whenever a character says, "Wow, I'm so glad I'm alone," they're not alone. I know that they're not alone. When someone says that they're alone, they're not. I take the moment to release the breath I was holding and take in my surroundings. This is where the inhabitants of the underground come to worship the lunar god. It's also a reminder that I still haven't found any adequate leads for the Ichor. When I take a couple steps down the carpeted path between the aisles, Nagi, why are you laughing? You're scaring me. I think we're going to meet a character. I'm assuming we're going to meet one of the characters now. It's been this long, and we have yet to meet any of the, characters. So, I think it's coming. When I take a couple of steps towards the carpeted path between the aisles, I suddenly make out a figure behind the altar. They're wearing long robes. A priest, maybe? Excuse me. I call out, taking care not to raise my voice too loud. The person shuffles around, and I see they're masked, too. Although this comes as no surprise, it's an unfortunate realization. Even those in service of the lunar god aren't safe from the marketplace. Oh! As they approach, I notice the distinct glimmer of a golden brooch nestled between the folds of their clothes. Proof of their holy devotion. Nagi, you never told me that he was a priest! You never told me that the beautiful white-haired man was a priest. I guess the game did tell me at the beginning. I'm just stupid. I genuinely forgot. I genuinely forgot. But I was like, oh! It took me a second once we got in the church and Nagi was laughing. I was like, oh, I think one of them's a priest. But I didn't know that the white-haired guy was a priest. Listen, he calls to me. He calls to me. The beautiful white-haired man, he calls to me. I cannot help it. This is literally a blind playthrough. White hair magnet. Yeah. I'm a magnet for white-haired anime men. Beautiful white-haired men. Their entire appearance is refined and almost ethereal. A rich silken voice. I feel so bad. My garbage voice acting. My shit voice acting. And he's supposed to have like a beautiful silky voice. And I'm... Hello. Okay. We're getting back into it. We're getting back into it. It takes me off guard. Do my ears deceive me, or has another fight broken out? The priest stops a few meters from me, and from here I notice that their mask doesn't cover their mouth, which is set to a thin, disapproving line. Oh, he's disappointed in me. Makes it kind of better, honestly. You're right. It's quite the scene outside. I pause. I was hoping I could lay low here for a while. I'm not one for brawls. My star. The church will always be a place of safety for those who need it. Please, stay as long as you like. I was taught that all lunar priests, all priests call their believers stars, but it still makes me so— He's calling me a star? Okay, huh? Okay. Okay, I have to focus. Well, thank you, Father. And I have to call him Father? Well, I guess she's a priest. I know. It's so fast. Listen. I'm weak. I'm a weak man. I see a beautiful, long-haired man with visual impairment. And that's enough. That's enough for me. I was about to say something kind of unhinged. We're not gonna do that. I'm trying to stay centered. A twitch of their lips. Cirrus. You need not call me by the stuffy titles. Cirrus? I mean, I don't mind calling him Father. I don't mind calling him anything else either. Okay. Cirrus. A man's name. I had a feeling. I doubt it's his real one, as is the case with most people in the marketplace. Even a fake name speaks volumes about someone's personality. Would you like a— Being insane? I am insane. I am being insane. I'm trying so hard. He's so— Okay. Would you like to light a candle while you're here? Huh. Sure. Why not? I follow him towards the back of the church, past the initial altar, and stop in front of the statue. It towers over us, surrounded by row after row of marine blue candles, and the sight takes my breath away. A sea of light. I don't believe I've seen you around these parts before. Small talk. I light a match and watch the flame flicker softly as I bring it to the wick. The only rational thing to do is answer with vague pleasantries to make sure I don't divulge important information. I mean, he could ask me anything and I'll answer. I'm not gonna lie. I know MC has like secrets and is mysterious, but if this man asked me for my social security number, I would give it to him. Anyway, I'm far from being well-traveled. I think I might see the appeal now, though. Is that so? Despite not being able to see his eyes through his mask, I feel them on me. Cirrus makes no effort to follow up on his last comment. The two of us fall into silence. You're a bit of an unusual priest, aren't you? His lips twitch again, forming into a polite smile. Would you care to elaborate? I like to keep my secrets. Listen. What do you mean you didn't think I would say that on YouTube? Not on God's YouTube. It's too late for me. I'm already being unhinged on God's YouTube. We're standing closer now, shoulders only slightly apart as we watch the new flames sway in unison with the rest. There's such a strange comfort to it all. I could linger here for hours, soaking up the atmosphere. I could linger here next to him for hours. I'm curious about what it's like. Being a priest, I mean. Demanding answers of me while not offering up your own. Behind the mask, I suppress a smile at his light prodding. Can't argue with that. Well, I understand your caution. Marketplace is by no means a safe environment. But if it's of any comfort, my star, I'm bound to the lunar scriptures. It's my job to ensure the visitors here feel safe and cared for. I'm trying so hard not to go insane. I'm trying so hard not to go insane. I'm trying so hard not to. I'm not gonna go insane. I am normal. I am normal. The words roll off his tongue with practiced ease. Listen. If I'm going to be honest, yes. I didn't realize there's a dialogue option where I'm just really forward with him. I kind of regret my choices now, but these are the choices I've made. You know, in my brain, I'm like, I love that he calls me a star. I know that's what you call everyone, but being called a star does make one feel a little special. My answer makes him pause for a bit. You are special. Everyone is in their own way. If everyone is special, then that kind of defeats the purpose of the sentiment, doesn't it? I'm mouthing off for the sake of it at this point, funneling the day's frustrations into banter. Cirrus doesn't mind. I feel his eyes on me again with increased intensity. Would you rather I say you're a bit more special than everyone else? His voice is laced with unexpected warmth, teasing me like an old friend would. Why, yes. That sounds a lot better. I think I ought to be heading back soon. Errands won't run themselves. Good luck with that, my star. What? Emotionally, I'm on my knees. Don't misinterpret that, please. What can I call you next time we meet? Next time? Salem. Cirrus repeats it, testing the pronunciation. Then a smile spreads across his lips. It suits you. Thanks. Picked it myself. Quite the mathy one, aren't you? It's part of my endless charm. That it is. We bid each other a polite farewell. Before I know it, I'm alone in the streets again. I trudge through the market stalls, sweeping over any new available content as I have every single day since coming down here. Okay, now that we've met Mr. Priest, we're gonna decompress for 1 second because I felt my soul leaving my body. I already know he is my everything. I haven't met the other characters yet. I do want to meet the other characters. They do seem cool. But already, my soul is leaving my body. But you're saying you're on your knees emotionally. Because I am. I mean it in the sense of my soul has left my body. I was about to say something that would not help my case. I don't think there's any helping my case. I think I'm kind of just cooked. Anyway. I trudge through the market stalls. I already read this. Murky colored crystals, vials filled with shimmering liquids, rare animal leathers, but nothing even remotely resembling the ichor catches my eye. The serenity that fills me at the church is instantly quashed. Instead, all I feel is dread. I've already been over this. Would Cirrus know anything? It's worth asking. It's the perfect excuse to head back to the church tomorrow. Until then, I keep walking because that's all I can do to keep myself busy. At night, I toss and turn. Not even the inn's freshly cleaned sheets do anything to soothe my restlessness. Before I know it, it's the next day. I've barely gotten a wink of sleep. Rina stops by for the usual breakfast chatter, but my mind is elsewhere. All I want is answers. Eventually, I'm back at the doors of the lunar church. Something about them beckons me, a deep magnetism that draws me straight through the entrance without a second thought. Yeah, it's the beautiful white-haired anime behind him. There's a different incense wafting around today. It tickles my nose with notes of mahogany and velvet. I expect to see Cirrus in the same spot as yesterday, but I find him further in this time, with an unmasked woman kneeling before him. It takes me a moment to understand what's happening. The priest doesn't say a word. His stature is imposing and almost regal, practically towering over the other person. Completely different from yesterday. I can't really make out what he's saying. She doesn't move. And eventually his hand finds its way to the top of her head. that should be me. Perhaps he's blessing her. I wonder why the atmosphere is so heavy in here. I decide to hang back. It's not my place to interrupt whatever ritual may be going on. My eyes rove around the decor instead, specifically the paintings and the detailed scenes they depict. Massive oils on campus, crackling with age at the edges. The larger ones show two gods at opposing ends, dancing around the earth in harmony. The arms reach out for one another as their endless rotations continue on until the collapse of the universe itself, unable to ever reunite. It's a little sad. Salem? I didn't notice him approach. Sirius's tone is warm and comforting. The smile right under his mask peeks out as usual. It's as though the ceremony from earlier never happened. Hey, I'm back. Didn't want to disturb you back there. Back there? Oh. He tilts his head, lips stretching into a mysterious smile. Did I make you curious by any chance? About the ceremony? Yes. At every choice, I always have to. Okay. Yeah, a little bit. Okay. Okay. Both seem so serious. Don't think I've ever seen anything like it. There's a pleased rumble coming from his chest. She was readying herself for something important in her life and needed some reassurance. So she turned to the lunar god itself and demanded she be fully cleansed. Why? Simply so that she may begin the chapter with a clear conscience. More than that, I cannot say. Privacy and such. That's fine. Thanks for explaining. Either way, I'm sure you didn't come here just to spy on me and the paintings. His comment makes me smile. Maybe I did. If I could see his eyebrows, the tone of his voice suggests they'd be raised right now. I guess you're right, though. I'm in need of advice. A pause. My star, nothing pleases me more than knowing you feel comfortable enough to come here for help. Cirrus comes closer, and for the first time I take notice of his height compared to mine. He's got to be at least a full head taller. What can I do for you? Oh, sorry, Oh, they can't do this to me. Wait, what if he's actually the lunar god disguised as a priest so he can blend in with people? Honestly, that was my first thought too, when he was like, she wanted to be blessed by the lunar god itself. He's sketchy and he's constantly described as being ethereal. So could see him as either being the lunar god itself or like some kind of demigod. I think that would be very spicy. Especially if I basically need to kill him for I need his blood for whatever the heck is going on with me. I'm very excited. But also, I. Listen, if he's the lunar god, and if he wants. Listen. Listen. If he needs any new worshippers, I'm available. I'm just saying. I'll get on my knees and everything. I'll donate all of my money to his sketchy church. I don't care. But anyway, it's just a theory. That's just a theory right now. We will find out. I'm looking for something. Lunar Ichor, to be specific. Something in his demeanor shifts when he hears this. You're sure? Quite sure. That's quite the task. What do you need such a precious resource for? I find that I really don't appreciate him sticking his nose where it doesn't belong. Oh. Oh. I see. Fractum anima. I thought that illness had very well vanished from this world. His words startle me as I instantly stare up at his face, hoping to catch a glimpse of his eyes through the holeless mask. The only better way to ensure he's telling the truth if he actually knows what he's talking about. But I see nothing, of course, only the intricate embossing of the metal surface. He knows the name of my illness. Wasn't expecting that. Nagi, I trust you, and I know you know exactly what kind of characters I like. How do you? I've encountered it before. That remains exceedingly rare. As is the cure, of course. I assume you've asked around and seen for yourself. The weight of the situation returns to me, as my chest feels like it's being crushed. I know. I feel him placing his hand on my head to give it a gentle pat, a passionate gesture. He's patting my head. He's patting my head. Ugh. Then the same hand trails down to cup my cheek over the masked surface. The sudden intimacy of the gesture makes me jolt. My star. What if I told you there might be another way? I feel my hand twitch, then curl into a fist. Impossible. I wouldn't be so sure. The lunar god is a benevolent, wondrous being. Goosebumps erupt all over my skin. My heart leaps into my throat. It's too good to be true. It has to be. There's no conceivable way he would have the answer right here, on a silver platter. Everything about the situation is making the alarm bells in my head go off. I don't care, brother. I'm already trusting him with my life savings, my social security number, everything. Anyway. Instead of cutting Cirrus off, I wait for him to elaborate. Cirrus's other hand captures my other cheek, till my head is cradled in his embrace as his voice drops an octave. You're shivering. Time around us seems to come to a standstill. I don't have the cure here, not yet. But I want to help you. I see how brightly you shine and how much you want to overcome this. I could never turn a blind eye to that kind of hunger for life. Will you let me help you, Salem? Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, yeah, yes. I know they're all yes, but I need just to make sure. Yes, yes, yes. I can't, no. No hesitation. No hesitation. I'm already in there. How can I thank you enough? I need nothing. I'm simply performing my duty, and knowing that it may save someone who makes it all the more rewarding. Honestly, I'm kind of curious. Um, I'm kind of curious as to like what the other options would be. Like what they yield. The devs knows who the target audience is. Yeah, it's me. I'm the target audience. Is that even a question? Refusing to be utterly idiotic. Thank you. The words spill from my mouth before I can even think twice. I'm still in disbelief. My mind is overcome with a sudden wave of confusion. I need to know the details. He's been so kind to me. I have a hard time doubting the validity of his claims. Cirrus readjusts his gloves with a practiced move. I'll need a bit of time. Getting a hold of this substance is no easy feat. The disappointment in his tone is obvious, and I believe him. Even for someone with more influence, there's bound to be obstacles in the way. How will you get a hold of it, then? Have you heard of the lunar god's healing prowess, my star? He turns to face the giant statue surrounded by candles. Motions for me to follow. I have. And how much do you know about it? As we both came to a halt, heads tilted up to get a full view of the statue and its surroundings, I respond with silence. Long ago, it was said that the priests were able to receive a sample of the blood that flows in these higher beings' veins to save their people. That is the Ichor that we know of today. Pure, concentrated life force infused with their powers. In this case, healing powers. But there is no reliable way to get a hold of it. I hold my breath. That being said, this blood has once been taken and thoroughly analyzed by a man who then went into hiding. Rumor goes that he left all his notes behind after passing away. Suddenly, his explanation starts to make sense. Saying we could find these notes and replicate the composition of real lunar ichor. Precisely. My mind goes into overdrive. How could this be the first time I've heard of it? I have to rein myself in before I get carried away. Sounds pretty illegal to me. Where do you know all this from? Cirrus smiles wide. The man went by the name of Nexus, who's a fellow priest from this very church. I hope you know just how difficult you're making it for me to believe you. It's just not possible. Please rein in your expectations, Salem. As he uses my name, the timbre of his voice turns serious once more. I did not know him well. Few people did. He was a reserved person, with not much to his name. Finding his residence, or wherever he made his secrets, is bound to be a difficult task, and I'll need all the help I can get. Even once we find these notes, there's no guarantee we'll be able to replicate it with all the information we have. Nor that someone will do it. The knot returns to my throat. I have to cling on to what I first arrived. Well, better to try than do nothing at all. Indeed. Something grabs a hold of me. Determination, unlike any I've felt before. Hope soothing my heart. Even if it is just for a little bit, I can't quite let my guard down fully. But this is a first step. Eventually, we fall into silence as we stare back up at the statue. Just checking, but it's not as easy as just saying pretty please than having the Ichor appear before us. He chuckles. Unlikely. But if you'd like to offer prayer, that will always be encouraged. I contemplate the idea. Listen. Just making sure. You know, I don't actually know if I trust praying, but I don't know. I know he's insanely sketchy. Everything in my logic brain is telling me that this is too good to be true, and he is really shady, and something bad will happen to me. But honestly, I don't care. I don't care. But I don't know if I trust praying. He wants me to pray to the lunar god, and either I could or I couldn't. I mean, I guess it's worth trying. I feel like I'm in the mood of like I feel like I'm in the zone of like we're just going to try everything. We're just going to try literally everything. Best be wary in the underground. I am wary, but also I am weary. It can't hurt, but I'm not sure how to. I don't know any lunar prayers. Allow me to guide you, my star. I nod. The shadowy mask turns my way, lips set into a neutral line. On your knees. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I already was emotionally. I'm just gonna stay here for a second. Just. Okay. 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 The usual warmth of his voice is completely stripped from his command, and I very quickly realize that this must be the mindset he was in earlier when he helped cleanse the other woman. For now, I obey. Shoulders straight, hands together. The words are efficient and utterly no nonsense. It's easy to tell he's done this a million times. Chin up, Salem. Do not hide your face from the lunar god. Expose your emotions. I feel. Listen, if I'm going to be completely honest, but I'm not going to say that. I would say I feel vulnerable. Very naked and very powerless in front of this higher being. I'm kind of curious as to like I picked vulnerable because that's the one that but just out of pure curiosity, I want to know what happens if I click this. I want to know what happens if I click this. Please don't judge me. I just want to know. Being commanded like this makes something deep inside me unfurl. Every subsequent breath I take fills with warmth. Every next order makes my skin tingle. My mind is so acutely receptive to every word he says. You're almost there. Simply repeat after me, my star. Okay, okay, that's enough. That's enough. I have to reel it back in. I have to reel it back in. I have to reel it back in and do the one that I would actually do. It's almost a tad embarrassing. I don't recall ever feeling like this while praying, but maybe it's because of the position, because Cirrus is behind me giving these orders. The only thing keeping me somewhat comfortable is my mask. You're almost there. Simply repeat after me, my star. I don't know if he puts his hands together as well. I don't dare look back. But he begins a short prayer, speaking solemnly and clearly. I repeat the words after him. Again and again. We fall into a trance, and with that I hope that my pleas reach the moon. Finally, it's over. I take a moment to regain awareness of my surroundings and raise my head. You did very good. I'm certain your prayers will be heard. He smiles patiently as I rise up from my kneeling position and stretch out. I hope so. Try to believe in yourself a little more. No such pleas could fall on deaf ears. I've got my doubts about that. Still, I appreciate your guidance. I'm about to ask if this is how the prayers usually go when the echo of the doors creaking resonates throughout the church. New visitors begin filtering in and the spell is broken. My inner clock tells me it's time to head back. Thank you for today. I'll come back tomorrow so we can start searching. By all means do. I'll do my utmost to find any leads and let you know if there's anything to work with. We share a quiet smile. Get home safe, Salem. Thank you. I leave the church and step outside, right back into the darkness. On my way back to the Leaping Bear, I stop at a food stall near some hearty potato soup and allow myself to take a bit of time to relax. I don't think I'll ever truly get used to not seeing the sun, but I'm starting to warm up to the underground as a whole. Halfway through another sip, I think back on what happened at the church. Yeah, I don't understand why he was so insistent, but it was kind of nice. But also, I would be lying if I say I hated it. I don't understand why he was so insistent. Yeah, but I'm also like, okay. In my logic brain, yes. In my me brain, um, listen, red is my favorite color. Red flags are my favorite color. Okay? I don't understand why he was so insistent. I don't understand why he was so insistent. It was kind of nice. It was kind of nice. If I'm being real. But also, I feel like I should be a little apprehensive of him. Because yeah. The strange gut feeling never leaves me. Fanatical priests aren't unheard of, but there's a fair share who would do anything to spread word of their religion. But Cirrus never struck me as that kind of priest. So I know. Either way, I need to come to terms with what happened. I have to work hard while I'm here. My eyeball. After loitering around for just a moment, I pay for my soup and begin for my long detour back. Passing through the marketplace so many times means that I have started becoming a familiar face, that in return I recognize some of the owners. Still looking? Unfortunately, yes. I'll keep my eyes peeled for you. The owner of the bookstall nods my direction, and I know without a doubt he will. Like many others settling up shop here, he can be a treasure trove of rumors and information. Say, could I ask you something? Depends on what it is. Have you heard of a priest going by the name of Nexus? The shopkeeper falls silent in thought and drums his fingers on the surface of the wooden display table. Can't say I have. Why? Heard he passed. I keep my intentions vague, and if he notices, he doesn't press it. Not exactly an uncommon occurrence around these parts. Thanks, anyway. Today's search is unsuccessful yet again. I don't let it bother me. After all, I have Cirrus's lead. Just as I'm about to turn back towards the end, I narrowly dodge, bumping square into someone's chest. What? Oh! Oh! Okay. He's got a sword. Oh. I bow my head in apology, but the stranger fumbles back, distraught. Oh, no, oh dear. I hope I didn't startle you. Oh, good here. Are you okay? Please don't worry about me. I should be apologizing instead. I'm not sure how to feel about the sudden outburst. When I take their appearance, I instantly know it's one of the noble sons from the surface. The skin sports a rich sun-kissed glow that almost makes me envious. Is this the Un type? He's cute. He's cute. Yeah. This is the Un type. He's the Megane proxy. The high quality of the suit's fabric and elaborate pieces of jewelry don't lie. They're selected with obvious care and attention to the outfit as a whole. Even the mask is perfectly coordinated with the rest of his suit. That's not necessary. I'm fine. Look. I hold up my hands to show no harm was done. Oh, I sure am glad. I hope we'll meet again, if you don't mind me saying. You're a very kind person. The person takes my hands and brings it to their lips. An old-fashioned custom at this point. I'm surprised to see anybody still doing such a thing. Ooh. Okay. I'm a little bit touched, but I've already committed to my beautiful, sketchy priest. And I am weary of everything. Out of habit, I pull back, my hand back, uncomfortable. I will be exploring his route later, though. I want to play through all the routes. Eventually. I do want to play through everything. But for now, I'm sorry, cute rich boy. You will have to stay here. Excuse me. Oh, no, I'm very sorry. I should have asked. At first glance, he's an easily frightened sort. I'm not sure how much of that is genuine. Please, take care, and allow me to make this up for you someday. The person quickly excuses themselves, and I'm left baffled. The underground truly is a safe place. Safe? It's a strange place. It's a testament to how many different people congregate down here. But you never really know who you're talking to, after all. I shake the thoughts from my head and finally find my way back to my room. My bed welcomes me after the strange day out. It's funny how familiar this inn-room has become, too. There's one more guy I think you'd love. Okay, I mean, I like all the character designs. Just by looking at the character designs, they all look really cool and fun. And I hope I meet them. Even seeing Rufus's face and his bloodied weapon every day has become something of a comfort. I'm sure that eventually the church will feel the same. That same church is empty the next day I step inside. There's nothing but the echoes of my own calls for Cirrus, and the flicker of the candles around the statue. For a while, I simply wait in front of the altar. 5 minutes turn to 10, which turn into 20. At this point, I'm pacing around the candles, wondering where he is. Didn't he say he might have some information today? Curiosity and boredom take me to the back of the church, where I've seen ornate doorways lead to who knows where. Maybe they're his chambers? That's when I hear it. The muffled shouts. The left door slightly ajar as I peek past it. As discreetly as I can muster, I finally catch a glimpse of Cirrus. And he's not alone. There's a strange tension in the air, one far more prominent than yesterday, and it dawns upon me, as I lean further against the wall, that he's genuinely angry. The usual smooth, silken tone of his voice is raised towards the person in front of him. I don't know who it is, but they have their hands raised defensively, and their own words come out with much difficulty. Do better, I promise, just please give me more time. That is not good enough. The venomous hiss makes me jump. I never expected to hear this kind of anger coming from a priest of all people, on holy ground, no less. I can speed up the process, not anymore, they'll be on to me. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Show me that you're sorry. A shiver runs down my spine. What is happening right now? Cirrus expectantly hands the person in front of him something that gleams in the candlelight, pale and deathly. It's a blade. My body immediately tenses at the sight, and my heartbeat skyrockets. I have to do something. Is it even safe to interfere? Shit, what do I even do? I didn't even get to save. I also realized that I can cheat. But also, like I said before, I'm a believer of minding my own business. But also, part of me wants to know what happens. I'm curious. I just want to know. I just want to see. But then I'm going to go back and do the walkway option. Because the real me minds my fucking business. I can't move. I'm too paralyzed by the sight in front of me. How could this be happening? The person, now wielding a knife, holds it in their hands as they would a precious jewel, then looks up at Cirrus. Their voice trembles. Yeah, quick time options really fucked me up. Right here? No, you're right. The front of the statue would be more fitting setting for this. Fuck! Shall we? Yes. Yes, by all means. In my panic, I try to shuffle back noiselessly, but one of my steps nearly fumbles, with the clacking sound to echo freely between the walls. Who's there? Is it too late to run? Would they find? Just about to make a run for it, hand clutches into the fabric of my robe. Hard. Never seen the person before. No matter how much I struggle, there's no time. In just a few seconds, I'm face to face with Cirrus himself. If I didn't know any better, I'd say he's stunned to see me. He nods in the other person's direction, proceeds to drag me through the doors, and unceremoniously toss me into the room. Salem. Cirrus's voice turns back to the warm, comforting one I've always heard. But right now, I don't know if I trust it. You shouldn't be here, my star. I'm simply taking care of some sensitive matters. You're right, baby. I'm gonna go back. You're right. We're going back. You're right, baby. We're going back. Bye. Mind my business. I feel like I was about to walk into a bad end. Something was about to happen that's not supposed to happen. But also, I'm a little curious. I kind of wanted to play out and see what happens there. I know I'm supposed to be doing a blind playthrough. But I guess it's still blind. It's not like I'm looking up like what the endings are. But I don't know. Like, I thought walking away would yield. Don't you want to see it through? Yeah, I kind of do want to see it through, actually. I can't. I'm going to pretend that I never saw anything. That's the only thing that can save me at this point. Morals be damned. I quietly shuffle back to the main hall. As I'm past the altar, I built. Oh, so I leave. Yeah. No. I want it. No, don't override my save. No. I'm seeing this through. I'm going. I'm in there. You shouldn't be here, my star. I'm simply taking care of some sensitive matters. You have to understand. Sensitive matters? Really? You gave him a knife. One that he was going to use on himself. On himself? Pauses. I think you have the wrong idea. What I gave him was not a weapon, but a ritual dagger. One used in elaborate dances and rituals of repentance. I'm left utterly speechless. I stare at Cirrus, then back at the trembling person. When I ask them if it's true, they nod. I think I should leave. I think you're staying right where you are. When I gaze back up at the priest, he's smiling in the way that gives me chills. Leave for now. We'll continue this later. He dismisses the shivering person without so much as a glance in their direction. They immediately obey and scuttle off. Then the door shuts behind us. When I ask why Cirrus is locking it, he gives me no answer. He tucks the key away in his pocket. Oh no! And with that, there's no way out. When I refuse to look up at him, his fingers grasp my chin with surprising strength and force me to meet his masked gaze. Do you make it a habit of snooping around and eavesdropping like this? Usually, I don't have to. But then I heard shouting. I'm trying, using every fiber of my being to not go insane. It's too late. I'm already going insane. It was nice meeting you. I know it's over for me, but I'm okay with it. I'm ready to accept death. If it's at his hands, I'll be dying happy. Anyway. You poor thing. His smile twists cruelly. I did keep you waiting for quite a while. Did you miss me? I'm not sure what's making my heart race faster right now. The adrenaline or the fact he's so close. No matter. I'm going to teach you some manners. Listening in on important conversations is very, very naughty. He steps even closer, completely suffocating me with his presence. Have you ever been punished before, my star? What? Punishment? Yes. I'll think of something adequate for a little eavesdropper like you. Of course, since it is your first infraction, I'll go easy on you. But penance is of utmost importance down here, and I think you'd best keep that soul of yours unblemished. Why? Why is this happening? What? Hush, little star. As much as I enjoy the sound of your voice, you really do talk too much. Yeah. Emotionally, I'm on my knees. I'm eternally on my knees. Emotionally, of course. He takes a step back, finally allowing me a bit of personal space. Then he immediately turns around and makes his way to one of the minimalistic wooden shelves in the corner of his room. There's barely anything in there, save for sleeping arrangements and some storage. His shelves, on the other hand, are crammed full of jewelry, books, and small, neatly labeled vials. It's the vials he's aiming for, as a long digit reaches out to brush over one of their corks. I'm wary of his every move, and when Sirius is back in front of me, two of the mysterious vials in his hand, I tense up. I'm aware of the situation. I'm aware the situation may have you a little on edge, but I need you to trust that this is for your own good. His expression falls, and in that moment, I wish I could see his eyes. What would I find if I looked deep within? But the more I think about it, the less I understand. Please. For the first time, I hear him beg to me. It's a completely alien feeling. What do you have there? I try my hardest to keep my voice neutral as I ask. Sirius pops one of the vials open with his nimble fingers, releasing a sudden waft of strange honey-like aroma, cloyingly sweet, almost coating the back of my throat with its smell alone. I think we're staring at each other now. The intensity of it makes my hair stand on end. Raise your mask and open your mouth. Yep. No hesitation. Listen. Okay, I'm gonna say like I always do. But I know who I am. I know it's having no hesitation to listen to his every word. Like I said, if he asks for my bank account password, I'm giving it to him. I hardly understand myself right now. I may as well have asked one of the thieves to watch over my purse. But something tells me Sirius doesn't want to kill me. No, if he did, he would have done so earlier. His intentions, although I fail to understand them, are not evil. So I undo the clasps of the mask and then tilt my head back, lips parted. Perfect. So very perfect. Such an obedient little thing. He approaches, and on the first trickle of liquid hits my tongue, the nectar is just as thick as the initial smell. Now it runs over my taste buds. I'm overwhelmed by the flowery, syrupy aftertaste. I feel it sticking to my lips like a glaze, and when he continues pouring, it trickles down my chin. It doesn't taste bad, but something feels off. As the liquid settles in my stomach, I feel strangely aware. Aware of everything. The way my nails scrape over the skin of my palm, the way my chest expands with every new breath, the fragrance of the incense and how it clouds my mind. I promise you it's just temporary. He speaks in a soothing, measured way. What's temporary? Sirius's hand rests on my shoulder, while I feel every single digit right through the cloth. The sensation of him trailing those fingers down the length of my arm just elicits a small shiver. Instead, it feels like a sharp, cold wave that borders on actual pain, taking me entirely off guard. My breath catches. Even that feels like an overload of sensation, like claws digging around my lungs. There's an affection lingering under the cruel curve of his lips, and it takes everything in my power to not make any sudden moves. Now, the sooner you complete your task, the better. You see, it's too difficult. The lunar god will be so very pleased with you. He's taking his time, walking in slow circles around me, observing me. You're going to do so wonderfully. I notice amidst my panic that the second vial in his hands contains uncooked rice. But why? His thumb presses the cork off the top, and with a tilt of the wrist, he empties the contents of the vial, showering the wooden floor with tiny, pale grains. I hate that I feel afraid to ask what it's for. These. He whispers. And I know it's not an order I can defy. At the moment my knees reach the floor, the rice sticks into my skin, and I instantly understand. My legs feel like they're on fire. The individual grains push further into my knees. With a muffled curse, I try adjusting my position. What the fuck is this? Just as I shift up, the sight of Cirrus holding an actual leather flogger makes me release a strangled sound I didn't know I was capable of making. No, no, no! Easy there. Easy. You're going to do it yourself, so it won't be as bad. After all, you're the one who must repent. Is it bad if I say I wish he was the one doing it? Anyway! I take a deep, careful breath. What if I refuse? Cirrus chuckles, but it's devoid of warmth. Then I suppose I'll have to take matters into my own hands. Please take matters into your own hands. I can't have my little star ruining their chances. Okay. No, I know who I am. I know who I am. I know exactly who I am. Confusion shrouds my mind. I'm reluctant to even touch the flogger with how overwhelmed by sensation I am. I grit my teeth, which sends another fresh wave of pain through my jaw. I can't do it. Feels wrong. Why are you doing this? Cirrus sighs and smiles once more. Well, I suppose I'll just have to show you. He handles the flogger with an experienced grip. It doesn't take a genius to see he's done this plenty before. All I can do is stare at the tail swing around and prepare myself for the impact. We'll start with 10. I close my eyes, but no amount of deep breaths or mental preparation ready me for the impact between my shoulder blades. My vision goes white as mind-shattering pain explodes all over my back. It's unlike anything I've felt before. It takes everything in me not to scream. The next hit comes sooner than expected, just a few centimeters lower, enough to revive the previous surges of pain. Alongside that, the rice continues to dig further into my knees. This time, I scream. Perfect. Suffering for your wrongs and completely letting go. What a wonderful sight. Another 2 hits of the flogger make me choke back sobs. You don't have to call me out. You don't have to call me out. I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best. I'm so proud of you. He murmurs a few words in languages I don't understand under his breath, giving me a moment to curl up and brace for the next hit. The little bit of praise in between? Give me a second. I may have a few mental illnesses. I feel this in my mental illness. I feel it in my mental illness. I got something about... And then he just keeps going. He murmurs a few words in a language I don't understand under his breath, giving me a moment to curl up and brace myself for the next hit. But Cirrus isn't having it. Sit up, Salem. When I refuse to budge, still trembling with the aftershocks of pain, his fingers hook into the collar of my cloak and tug. They pull up further and further. Before long, I'm grasping for air and clawing at his hands. Cirrus, I said. Sit up. My struggling only serves to please him further. At this point, I'm desperate for all of it to stop. I nod and fight through the sensation until he releases my cloak, after which I fall back to my previous position on my knees. Everything aches, deeply. There's 6 more to go. I can make it through, just a bit longer. But the next hit comes far too soon. I'm screaming again, the force of it resonating in my vocal cords. Each individual tail's flick leaves trails of fire singing across my back. As the flogger traces a figure 8 across my skin, my throat tightens up. Please, God. I feel warm tears dripping down my face. He takes a deep, satisfied breath. That's it. Beg for forgiveness. By the time I receive the final hit, my vision goes blurry, and I've realized my senses are dulling again. A pleasant numbness washes over me. Darkness quickly engulfs my senses. I'm not conscious long enough to realize that my body's already collapsed to the floor. By the time I come to, I'm surrounded by the smell of cotton, and I feel something soft and warm on my arm. It's just the right, lukewarm temperature, something like a damp cloth, gently dabbing away the sweat and grime on my skin. I keep my eyes closed, fearing it might stop if I happen to open my eyes. The cloth is removed, and I hear the sound of water dripping. The sensation returns to my other arm. I almost exhale in relief. It's so comforting that I'm tempted to drift off again. It's when the cloth runs up the side of my neck that my breath hitches. Are you awake, little star? Darn. He can't. I feel like I've just been through a lot. I feel like I've just been through a lot right now. And I'm sorry you guys had to see me like that. I'm sorry you guys had to see me like that on God's YouTube. I need a moment. I need a moment. Okay. I think I can do this. His thumb crawls up to rest over the edge of my ear while a deliberately slow, ghostly touch. He runs it around the shell until he reaches the lobe and gives it a pinch that makes something inside me tingle. Your body's betraying you. Open your eyes, Salem. Talk about playing dirty. I need to Nagi. I can't believe you never. I mean, I'm glad you didn't tell me because getting jump scared by this, truly, an experience. But also, I feel like I'm dying. I shift on the mattress underneath me. Do all priests make it a habit to fondle their visitors during their sleep? Mouthy from the moment you wake, I see. I bite back a response and take a moment to reassess my situation. The effects of the syrup have long since worn off, though I'm left with a little sensitivity sparking up here and there. Do you want some water? The sudden kindness surprises me. This time I nod in response. I hadn't realized how parched I really am. Wait here. Sirius quickly makes his way out of the room, leaving me alone and disoriented. Nagi, I'm asking for a friend. I need to know if he has a fan art tag. I'm asking for a friend. The friend might be me. But I just want to know. If he has a fan art tag? I may want to peruse it. Or perhaps fanfiction tag. That's good too. I need time to organize my thoughts. About that punishment, for example. After all, I now know for certain what kind of person Cirrus is. It was very enjoyable. I need to deal with this to get the Iker. The structure of the ritual was comforting. It was very enjoyable. If I'm being honest with myself, yeah. Yeah. I can't believe I'm saying this. But it wasn't bad. No, on the contrary. It's been a while since the game released. You might have a few. Oh, I can hope. No, on the contrary, I feel freed of everything in a moment. I still feel a warm afterglow on my back. I'm sure if I saw myself in the mirror, I'd see all the raised welts from each lashing. The idea of having these kinds of marks that almost label me as his, is really nice. Without hesitation, listen. Yeah, I guess if this is just me and I'm being honest with myself, yeah. I lower my hood while he's gone, allowing myself just a little freedom to move. I'm tempted to remove my mask, but it doesn't feel like the right time. I can't show Sirius more of my face. My head is still swimming as more questions continue to pop up one after the other. I doubt that all followers of the lunar god engage in this kind of behavior, unless the underground is a fair bit kinkier than I anticipated. Actually, not very surprising. But that still begs the question of why Sirius is having me undergo this. Personal satisfaction? A genuine desire to follow some obscure commandments? Questionable morals? It's okay if it's all of the above. All of the above. Or I can come to any conclusion. He's back with a tray, carrying a pitcher of fresh water and what looks like chocolate? Correct. He hands me the little tray, and I expect the contents. This better not be spiked again. It won't be unless you give me a reason to, little star. I'm not sure if he's joking or not. Reassuring. I take a swig of the water, letting it soothe the back of my throat before I reach for the square of chocolate. It's dark, with an uneven surface. When I bite into it, I'm surprised by the hint of lavender and black tea that melts into my mouth. Little grains are spread throughout the chocolate, and with each bite they release a burst of flavor. That sounds really good. I want black tea and lavender chocolate. That sounds delicious. Where can I get that? Volunteers sometimes come help with food. On good days, there's leftovers. Could get used to this. Sit in silence for a while, until I set the platter aside and shuffle into a better position against the headboard. How's your back feeling? It's okay. Actually, it feels kind of nice. It's not painful. I'm having a hard time gauging his reaction. Then his lips tug into another calmer smile. It's my duty to make sure you're all right. Honestly, part of me thinks he wanted me to suffer. So I feel like I should have picked the suffering option. Because I feel like, okay, I'm gonna save here and I'm gonna go back. Okay? I'm gonna save here and I'm gonna go back because I wanna know if he reacts differently. I need to deal with this. Oh, it's the same. Then it flips tug into another. Damn, this girl actually likes it! Listen. It's my duty to make sure you're alright. That being said, I have a question for you. Okay. We're gonna go back to where I was before. Because I still believe in being true to myself. Any more aftercare, Salem? I want a hug. No. I'm not forward enough to ask him for a hug. I don't deserve it. I think I want to be left alone for a bit. That's all I need. Some peace. He seems hesitant. Alright. I come back in half an hour. Does that sound acceptable? 45 minutes. Very well. The sound of the door shutting makes my shoulders slump slightly in relief. The mask comes off, as do my gloves and the rest of my cloak. It's the perfect opportunity to relax and regain my footing. My body feels incredibly stiff, but with each stretch, I feel it loosening, gradually becoming more responsive. When I realize I still have a bit of time, I close my eyes and meditate. A wave of calm settles over my mind, and with that, I know I made the right choice. That same calm persists even when he comes back. Yeah, I'm fine. Before I forget, my star. Don't you want to see the hug? Okay. We're gonna see the hug, but then we're gonna go back, because real me is not going to pick that. Silence follows, but surprisingly, Sirius complies and seats himself at the edge of the mattress. When I reach my arms out for him, he reciprocates. I find myself leaning in, resting my forehead on his shoulder, while his gloved hands rub smoothing circles across my back. The scent of cotton seems to come from him, a surprisingly gentle one, mingling with the incense and candle smoke that I've grown so accustomed to. It's a strange feeling, being so physically close to someone you're not entirely sure you trust. But as we share bodily heat, I feel the planes of his hard body against mine, and feel myself lowering my guard. Eventually, our heartbeats match. All throughout our embrace, I never turn to look at him. I don't know what would happen if I stay like this for a while. I didn't think you were one for hugs. People need physical touch. It's essential to our well-being. I don't think there's any shame in indulging that. He sure loves his roundabout answers. After a few seconds, I let go. Okay, we're gonna go back to before we hugged, because I'm not worthy. But I'm fine. Before I forget, my star, I've got some news regarding the notes. This makes me sit up straighter in attention. Really? Indeed, I'll be sending out someone tomorrow, and if it all goes well, they'll be back with positive news. Can't we just go there ourselves? I'm not sure that's a good idea. Why? I think you should head home for the day. His words leave me confused. Why does his mood suddenly change? Maybe I should. His curt demeanor kind of stings, though I'm unsure if it's because he's withholding information or because he's kicking me out. While I get up and ensure I have all my belongings on me, Sirius waits in tense silence. But I want to answer. So when are you going to be honest with me? His lips pull into a thin line, clearly not in the mood for questions. I have not been honest with me whatsoever, Sirius. I'm trusting you with my life here, but you can't even be asked to give me a straight answer. Irritation starts to fuel my words. No, instead of that, you're just pulling me along, whatever you like, without any consideration. Just when I'm about to say more, he turns towards me completely, with all traces of annoyance vanished. You're not ready for the honest truth. His words feel like a slap across the face. What? There's so much more at play here than you realize, Salem, and you know nothing of it. Someone who's been here for so little time couldn't possibly hope to understand yet. My mind is racing. There's so many words I want to hurl back at him, but none of them come out. Instead, I take a deep breath. You're full of shit. Go ahead. We'll talk once you've calmed down. He unlocks the door for me, and I don't waste a second before storming out. I'm tired. Part of me wants to run and never see him again, thinking maybe it'll be easier on my own. But I'm stubborn, and I'll never do anything, and I'll do everything to get what I want. Eventually, Sirius will understand that. Neutral end? You won't give up? Ah! To be continued. Ah! Ooh. That was fun. Ooh, the art is really good. Okay. Okay. Now that I have technically finished one route, I've gotten an ending. Oh. I feel like I've been through a lot. Thank you for telling me to play this, Nagi. You're so correct in that I like this. You're so correct. I am losing my mind a little bit. I'm curious. I wanna look at preferences. I'm okay with flashing visuals, time choices, yeah, screen shake, dialogue size, window, extras. Ooh, conviction. There's 5 serious endings. Ooh, there's a lot of endings in this. There's a lot of routes. I wonder Sirius's other ending. I got the neutral ending. CG gallery. Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe I could save this CG. I can't look at that for too long. I can't be looking at that for too long. I can't wait to tell you the stuffs tomorrow, but I'll let you figure things out on your own. Yeah, I do want to figure things out on my own. I'm curious. Oh my god, there's a lot of warnings, but which makes sense. I'm glad that they like tell you about it, but that I think I'm gonna cut it here for now. I finished the whole route. Also, it's getting kind of late and I have work tomorrow. Yeah, I don't think I can keep going with this tomorrow because I have D&D, but on Thursday I'm probably gonna be continuing because I want to keep going. I did do a blind, that was my blind playthrough. I kind of wonder if I want to look up, because when I was downloading the game, they do have an endings guide, so I'm debating whether or not I want to look at the endings guide, but I also kind of want to figure it out on my own. I think I'll try and figure it out on my own and try and get another route just by like doing stuff. Dream of the Shady Priest. I probably will. Listen, I probably will. I think that whole experience will stick with me for a while. I'm on my knees, emotionally, physically. You can look at it once you're stuck. Emotionally, physically. Oh my god. I think it's over for me. I'm waiting for when you realize something in the choices leading up to an ending. Ooh, leading up to the endings. Yeah. I'm gonna go back through my choices. See, this is why I save everything. I'm gonna go back through the choices and try and figure out to get another ending and see what else, because I want to get Sirius's other endings. Well, also I want to meet the other characters. I know we met one. I think next I'm gonna go for a different character just to like mix it up, because I know there's the cute the cute rich boy that Un's probably gonna like, but there's 2 other characters that I didn't even get to meet and I do want to meet them. So I'll probably go and see if I can get one of their endings. And I'll probably be back on Thursday. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Nagi, for telling me to play this game. I very much enjoyed it. And yeah. I think it's my bedtime. I will be dreaming of the Shady Priest. I will be dreaming of the Shady Priest. Oh, I forgot. I'm on YouTube. Care's my fave. Kair is, which one's that? I know the priest is Cirrus. The priest is Cirrus. Help. No, that's like. Oh wait, I could just look at the page. Oh, Kair's the sarcastic. I'm literally looking at the page for the game download. Kair is the sarcastic thief. When I compliment you, if that ever happens, you'll know. Ooh, he's a thief. I can see why you like him. Yeah, I can see why you like him. Okay. I'm gonna try and see if I can meet him next time. But yeah, I'll let you meet him in game. Yeah. I want to meet him in game. I feel like if you like him, I'll probably like him too. We are comrades. But yeah. Okay. I'm on YouTube. Guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. I will probably be back on Thursday to continue this game. Because I think it's fun. Okay. Good night and good morning. Bye bye.